welcome to EPHG Limited. My name's Martin. We have Adrian Preston as our guest today. He is also part of our staff team taking phone calls, but he will be acting as an engineer asking me questions.
Okay. If I'm an electrician, plumber or heating engineer, would I be able to register with you?
Yes, as long as you're qualified, you're self-employed, you have your own fan, own tools, own materials, you're absolutely fine to register.
Fantastic. How do I register?
You register by going to EPHG.Limited, or you can put in www.ephg.limited to the search engine, visit the website. Just at the bottom of the website you can click onto Engineer Register. It'll explain all about us. Click on the register bit, fill in the form and send in your details to us.
Okay, is there anything else that I need to know before I register?
Just make sure you read all the content, the about us, which will explain everything about us in order for you to register your details and come onto our system.
Okay. Do I have to be self-employed, have my own van and tools, etc.?
Yes, that was a question asked before. That's we're happy with that question.
How would you know if I'm on call?
We have an app. At the moment it's called Emergency Plumber. There is another app that by the time you've watched this video it's most likely that the app is out. If you type into it'd be the Play Store, you'll type in EPHG. You should come up with the app, you'll download it. From there you can turn yourself on and off call. Now on our side the green would mean that you are on call, the red would mean you're off call. Now with the red meaning that you're off call, we will not call you unless we've got nobody else to call before we have to find an alternative way. Now if you're on the green, that means we'll give you the first call. If there are a few that are on the green, we'll share it out amongst the engineers that have themselves on call. If we call you and you don't answer, then it's more likely that we'd much appreciate that you would give us a quick text to say, sorry I missed your call, I can't do it. But if you keep ignoring the call, we would stop calling you and there's a good chance you'll end up off the system.
Okay. Once I've registered, how long is it before I start to get work off you?
Once you register your details, we check you up first of all. From there, we'll have you on the system within 48 hours.
Okay.
You'll get an email automatically, which is where you're going to log in onto the system. Download, put in your name, password. Now your name and password is generally text over to you, or you can click on the email and register yourself through the email that way. Again, you just wait patiently up to 48 hours. Sometimes it can be done within a couple of hours, but generally I would say about 24 hours and definitely within 48 hours.
Okay, so what will I be paid and how would I get paid?
The rates we explain to customers on all emergencies is £90 for the first hour's labour. Now for that time we would say on that rate generally starts from 8 AM in the morning till about 6 PM at night. If it's outside those hours, after 6 PM until 8 o'clock in the morning, you get paid £95 labour.
Okay. Now, once I receive a job, how quickly do I have to get there and how do I receive the details?
Now, from the time we take the job, the booking off the customer and the customer's paid the deposits, we tell the customer the engineer generally has half an hour to 90 minutes to get over to him as an emergency. We always tell the customer our aim is to get to the customer as close to the half an hour as possible.
Okay, fantastic, brilliant.
Okay, do you want to turn over? Got some more
So if I'm on call and I don't answer, should I call back, and would I still get calls if I'm off call?
It was a question that was answered before, but I'll answer that one again.
Yep.
Again, if you're off call and you've forgotten to just turn yourself on call, there's a chance that we'll call the ones that are on call first of all. If they're not answering and it turns out that we end up calling around the ones that are off call, there is quite often a chance that you can get a phone call, but you must appreciate the reason that we're calling the engineers that are on call first.
Okay. So, just so I know, it's EPHG Limited calling. What numbers do I need to store?
The type of numbers you'll need to store, and that you'll know it's us calling, is the last 6 digits is ending in 24/7 24/7. Now, our main incoming line for the customers is 07720 24/7 24/7. Now,
Okay.
if it's myself calling, then the number you'll see is 07730 24/7 24/7. Now, Adrian, who's also acting as the engineer asking questions here, his phone number ends in 24/7 24/7, and it starts with 07734. Michael, who is not here with us today, his number is 07525 24/7 24/7. It just makes it easier for the engineers to know who's calling, and so they know they can answer the phone calls.
Right, so what apps do I need to download?
The apps that you'll need to download currently, depending when you're watching this video, is currently Emergency Plumber. If it's not Emergency Plumber, it'll be EPHG. They are the apps that will allow yourself to turn yourself on and off call. Now, we also have signed notes. That is a development that's been going, and it's cost us 12 grand. But it also helps the aftercare with customers. It also helps the care with the engineers, but when there becomes an argument of who said what, at least sign notes is there to support you where you're getting customer signature. But we do have more about that. If you go onto the website, click on sign notes. We currently have a video on there right now that explains a lot more in great detail about sign notes.
Don't you think the rate of £90 is a bit too generous?
A lot of people do seem to think that they're getting a lot more than any other company would pay them, but our philosophy on the rates is if you're getting good pay, we're going to get more engineers wanting to run the service. If we've got more engineers that way, we're giving the customers a much more better service, and saying that we're going to get somebody out there rather than we might be able to get somebody out there.
Yeah.
We find it 99 times out of 100 we've always got an engineer that'll be available to go out to the emergency.
Okay.
And for this reason that the engineers are getting a generous pay, is that we're more likely going to go out.
Right. So will there be anything we need to pay you for the generosity?
Not for the first call out, no. The £90 or the £95 for the first hour, if it's 5 minutes or 1 hour's work,
yeah.
You're going to get paid that off the customer, and that's all yours. The only time that we do ask for any money is if you do any further work. Now, for example, you go to a boiler fault that's leaking water, you tell the customer that they need a new boiler. Customer decides, right, okay, happy enough to go with the new boiler, get a quote, you go there directly, you do it. For example, you charge the customer, say, £600 labour, you would then pay us 10% labour for that. We see that as a thank you, because you would have got the job through us in the first place.
Right. What happens if the customer cancels within 5, 10 or 15 minutes?
Right, from the time of the customer paying the deposit to ourselves, If they decide to cancel within 5 minutes, then we have to refund the complete deposit. That's in our terms, conditions. We don't, by law, with it being known as a deposit, have to refund that. But in any case, we decided amongst ourselves that 5 minutes is quite reasonable to refund the customer. Now, if the customer decides to cancel within 10 minutes, then we'd say that is a bit too late. We've already passed the details to the engineer, meaning that we have to pay the engineer his convenience in going to the job of £30. So therefore, we also see it's reasonable to pay the engineer, or should I say the customer, an inconvenience fee of 50% refund. We can't call that an inconvenience fee. The customer should just get a refund of 50%. Again, we feel that's reasonable. If the customer decides that it's over 10 minutes to cancel the job, then from our side and our perspective, that it's gone too far, because we've got our staff to pay for the forms we fill in. We've also got engineers to pay for the inconvenience. Therefore, we see it as reasonable that the customer does not get their deposit back.
Okay, so what if I decide this is no longer for me?
If you decide that it's no longer for yourself, what we'd expect you to do is send us an email in to the email address cancel@EPHG Ltd Limited, that stands for, or you can send it to martin@EPHG Limited, saying that you no longer would like to be on our system, and therefore we would take you off our system, and we'll no longer give you a call. We get sometimes, once every couple of months, we'll get a text off an engineer saying that I'm no longer working for some reason or another. We do call them because it's not easy just to get a text when we could be out or doing something. If we get it by email, it's more reliable that we're easy to take you off the system.
Right, okay. Are there any social activities I have to look forward to, and are there any other companies involved with the work we get?
We also have a social page on our website. Now, at the bottom of the website, I've got a social link. If you click on there, that'll link to all the social areas, whether it's Twitter, it's Google+, it's Facebook, or it's my page where you'd like, or one of the groups that I run. Again, that we do have a social group on there, and if you like our page, I'll post stuff on there, and that will explain events or anything on there for you to go on and visit.
If we get stuck, who do we get advice from?
If you get stuck and you need some advice, I've been a qualified plumber now for over 20 years. I've done a lot of emergencies in my time, and I've got a lot of experience when it's coming to do with the emergency plumbing. So you could give me a call. I can give you some phone advice, that's no problem at all. Now, if it comes to gas situations, I'm a qualified gas safe engineer. You could ask advice. I might be able to point you in a direction. There are a lot of questions I can answer, but there are questions that would take me too long to answer due to the amount of experience I do have when it comes to being gas safe registered. I only know enough to be qualified in the work I'm doing.
Okay.
If it comes to the electrical side, I've got no qualifications at all. I've only got experience. If I can't answer what you're looking for, I can possibly point you in the right direction in order to get the information you require.
Right. Will there be any future changes?
It's always a good idea to visit the plumbing register once every 6 months to see any updates on anything new that's coming out. Again, if you like my post and I do have any changes, you will get them immediately.
Right, fantastic, thank you.
Okay, now let's see what we've got. Some questions coming from our live show. Will I benefit if I get customers to sign a satisfaction form at the end of each job? That's a message from Reese. Yes, we have an engineer of the month, where basically what we do, we have the top 10 engineers that'll allow you to get satisfaction reports coming in. We do say who has been the best engineer that's we've been passing the jobs out to. Once a year we'll have the engineer of the year. With the engineer of the year, you will get a surprise. It could be about a couple £100 worth of surprise. You also get some good recognition with us. The more you do for us, the more we'll do for you back. You treat us well, we'll treat you very well back as well. Now,
Reese again.
Is there anywhere I can get customers to rate my work and get us more work as a company? As long as the customers used us, yes. You just need to type in EPHG Limited plumbing reviews, and you can do a review on the system. Therefore, we'll find out that we've had a review, as we do take a look daily. But we also advise, if a customer does a review on your work, is to make sure that the customer does reference the name of the engineer who's made the review for us to basically make that note.
And then the phone rings.
Right, I don't know if you can see us at the moment, but our phone's ringing. We can put it on silent. Just bear with us 1 second. Hello, it's Martin Smith from EPHG Limited. I'm just in a meeting at the moment, so is it possible you could phone me back in about 20 minutes? Hello, yes, I'm just in a meeting at the moment. Yes, I'll be about 20 minutes. If you can give us a call back then. Oh, I understand that. Okay, thank you, bye bye.
Got someone else here. Do we pay you any money to join or get work leads?
Right, this you don't pay anything at all to join. What our system is all about is to have as many engineers as possible. As long as you're a decent engineer, we're more than happy to pass you work. It costs you nothing at all. Just register. Now, to register, you go on our website and just put engineer register all your details, and we'll once we get you on our system, we'll forward your work.
Could possibly put a link on there, couldn't we?
We've got a link on the website.
Is there one already on there?
Yeah, it's on the website. You just need to type in.
Another one here. How would we pay you for job leads if we have?
Hold on, we've got Reese that's just come in before that. Right, Reese has mentioned, I forgot to download the app on my new phone. Will you still call me? Right, well, it does mention that you do need to download the app in the form itself. Now, if you haven't downloaded the app and we've already put you on the system, there is a good chance that we'll see you as off call, and eventually we would say to you, sorry to call you, I understand that you've got yourself off call, can you do an emergency? Therefore, whoever's registered will say, well, I've not downloaded the app, and then we'll explain that, well, that's obvious why you've got yourself down as off call. That way we'll then remind you what to do and try to help you over the phone or guide you in the right way for you to register yourself. But help is always at hand. By giving us a call, we'll help you out. That's no problem. Now, Tom Kitchen has just mentioned, how would we pay you for the leads if we have any follow-up work? Well, there's many engineers that are paying us with leads at the moment, and that's because we've taught them how to pay them, which is fairly easy. There's different methods of paying us. We've got PayPal by giving our email address over. We can send you an invoice with our payment bank details. That'll make it easy for you to pay. You can also pay over the phone with your card details. That's a very quick way to make a payment of 10% after you've done the first initial call outs.
David Hurst.
David Hurst says, do you take a percentage? The answer to that is we don't take a percentage off the first emergency that comes in. The £90 or the £95 for the first hour of emergency call, that's not emergency, that's not a non-emergency call. You do not pay anything to us at all. You only pay us 10% on the labour only if you get further work off the initial call. We've got no more questions there at the current. We're just going through.
See if any on there.
Right,
That's
okay.
everything on there.
Is there anyone else that would like to ask any questions just before I go? I'll give it a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Lee Campbell's asking, are you live now? No. Oh, yes, the answer is on that. Yes. Yes.
Right, we're turning this off now.
Give it another minute. If anyone wants to ask us any further questions, I think we've covered everything there. I'm sure if there's anyone that's missed any of our video, they can go back and watch the video again.
Yeah, you can replay it, can't you?
Yeah, they can replay it, or they just go on our website and watch the video once they've completed it. Reese laughing again. Are you always this good looking? Reese, well, when you take me for a date in the sun, I'm sure we have much to talk about.
Yeah, funny.
I think Reese has gone quiet out. Yeah,
I think he's left the chat room.
No, he's still on there. Yeah. Right. Anyone else?
The Godfather is alive.
No, Lee
Lee
says the
Campbell.
Godfather is live. Reese is laughing his head off. Thank you, Reese. Well done, lads. He's just commented. Anything else that you'd like to say? Excellent company, excellent lads.
Does that say excellent?
Right, CH Sharp has just said, do we only get jobs within areas we operate from?
Good
Now,
question,
that is a good question. Now, there's a lot of lads, engineers, that are travelling about an hour. There's engineers travelling half an hour. You could, if you really wanted to, is say, right, I don't want to travel any further than 10 minutes. If that's the situation, the reputation we get is that we wouldn't call you much. We do prefer it if engineers travel anything from half an hour upwards. Half an hour would be good for us. A lot of engineers that we give a lot of work to will travel an hour, and therefore we will always treat them first. Now, we have got an engineer up in Scotland base. He will travel an hour and a half. Therefore, we give him absolutely everything we can because of the way he treats us. It's like we say, the better you treat us, the better we'll treat you back. Any more questions?
All gone quiet.
Yeah. I'll give it another minute. If there's no more questions coming in a minute, we'll leave it at that.
We'll shut up shop.
Just another reminder while I'm waiting for some more questions. Sign Notes, the app is out now. We do have a video on the website EPHG Limited. Sign in at the bottom of the footer. Click on the Signed Notes link. Watch the video. Download the app. On the video it will explain that the Sign Notes app is now mandatory to use. Obviously there are those out there that don't have the technology of the iPhone or the Android. If that is the situation, we'll have a chat about that and see what we can do from there. But from a customer's and an engineer's perspective of view, the engineer and the customer will get a much better service if you use the app. Okay. Right.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video.